beautiful. So sorry I had to start your reading all over again because it randomly cut off as though someone's trying to stop me from telling you this. But so far so positively shown. What I've have been getting for question number 1, will he return to you recently or any of that kind of thing, and number 2, what is he feeling recently? I do see a face-to-face intervention. That's what I was saying earlier. And if you look closely, there's a very, very thin, small gap between you guys coming together, you know? So I do think this kind of intervention, this meeting, this talk will allow him to say something very, 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 or even you, but I do see mainly it's him because this is more from him. I do see, you know, something being so little. You guys are going to come close, and I do see you guys are going to kind of fix the situation. So it's easy and breezy. But you see here, I do really agree with your family member because you see all that. This is actually representing all your thought process. So you have here eyes. So I do think it's going to be very difficult for you to look at him in the eyes, and not because you're ashamed or, you know, angry or none of that. It's more like, how can I look at this man after a sort of a trust has been broken? I know you know, some people you may tell and they're like, oh, you don't really know him well, or some people may tell you this in the future, but I completely disagree. I think love has no time, and it's really difficult looking at someone in the eye after what they've done. But anyway, you also have here L and an O, and we don't have a V, but I honestly, come on, it's just logical. It can be a V. And we're missing an E, but I do see, anyway, LO, that just tells me love straight away. I do think that this is something to do with love, not, you know, he has to go meet up with you or he has to tell you all this. And no, he's doing this out of love, and he's doing this because of how much he cares for you. No one pressured him, no one told him what to do, none of that. And so if you guys were to talk and he says, you know, oh, Melissa, like, if he accidentally slips and says, you know, I just feel pressured, blah, 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 just know that you did nothing wrong. And I want you to keep kind of putting emphasis on it, that this is your will. You're the one that reached out, because I do see it most likely him reaching out. Don't mind me, I'm just lighting your candle again because it randomly blew out, which means there's a lot of spirits around you active. But anyway, so yeah, I just want you to put emphasis on that, because he is going to be in a battle when he sees you. When he sees you again, he's going to be in a bit of a battle. He is going to be finding it difficult to talk to you and all that kind of thing. And the fact that I'm getting so much information, I just know it's going to be, you know, upcoming, because this isn't broad at all. This is literally me for almost 4 minutes talking just about the plate. Wow. Thank God. I also see here there's going to be a heart drop. If you see, you can't really see, but there's someone as though they've just dropped their heart. I do think at one point your heart is going to drop. He's not going to say anything negative, but it's something that, well, it's up to you if you see it negative, but he's going to say something that you're going to think, was it really worth leaving me, going through all this drama for this? Was it really worth that? You know? It's going to get you really, really thinking. But yeah, it's going to be a bit difficult for you to kind of keep your kind of energy low and vibrated, because you're going to be up in the air. So I just want you to calm down and take a breather when this happens, because it's going to be a very up in the air kind of state. The fact that you've got here a teardrop, sorry, it just goes to show that you will be feeling like very emotional when you see him. It's going to be that type of kind of reconnection of, I want to hug you, but I don't know what to do. And to answer your question directly, you know, will I see him soon? I do think this is a definite yes, just because we're getting so much information out of it. We're getting, you know, a storyline, we're getting your emotion, as though this is going to literally happen in the next hour, which it won't, but you get me. It's going to be very new and very recent. And all the lines that kind of drag upwards, they're all dragging upwards lightly, you know? It's as though he's gonna literally pick you up from that drama and slide upwards into the future very positively, because we can barely see the line here. And keep in mind, it's very good. I don't know if I know I keep saying that with the whole weed situation, but this does look like a bomb or whatever they call it that they smoke out of. So I do think someone around him or himself, oh my god, another one. Someone around him either smokes that or whatever, or himself. One, if it's someone around him, they're advising him wrong. Two, if it's him, he's advising himself wrong, which I completely agree with that. Yeah, I stand by that. I'm for sure he's going to tell you that, you know, I was in the wrong state of mind. I didn't know how to, you know, receive healthy advice. I couldn't really ask you for advice. I was so lost. He's going to mention all those things. I also see that he's going to kind of test the waters. I don't think, you know, I really do stand by my words. And, you know, I've changed them with other clients. I said, oh, you know, if you see him, maybe do this so that he can say that. Or I don't think he's coming. Do you want to do yoga classes or something? Or stop calling him or something? But with you, I've been so confident. And I do see him being very confident in wanting to return to you. But he's not going to start straight away. He's not going to say straight away, let's get back into a relationship, unless he tests the waters and it's so positive. Which obviously, you know, when he's going to talk to you and all that kind of thing, you're going to be up in the air. Maybe your eyes are going to get emotional, which is absolutely normal. It is going to kind of worry him. Do I deserve her? She deserves better, all that kind of thing. Yeah, with the car and all that kind of thing, I do see here a car and a momentum of driving. He is going to be willing to drive to your area. He's going to make it, you know, not very difficult. So easy for you to say, yes, let's meet up. Because, you know, yes, you do love him and care about him and you want to see him. But in his eyes, he thinks you're done. Like, you've given up. You know, so it's going to be something that he's going to plan. He's definitely coming back. I just don't know when. I do see it being soon. Absolutely. But I don't know how soon. But I definitely think something around Valentine's Day, maybe he will watch your story. He will talk to you. There will be some sort of sign, no matter how big or small, that you will kind of receive from his spirit. Yeah, it's like he's going to tell you that my feelings for you never completely dropped. You see here, there's a bit of cuts in the connection. And, you know, he's not going to tell you that I lost feelings for you. He's going to say, I was unsure, and then I came back, or I felt comfortable. I felt like we were rushing. You know, excuses. I definitely think that something will happen around kind of a rainy time. So maybe that, you know, soon, in a couple of days, there might be some rain. Just collect some rainwater and, you know, cleanse your crystals with that or something like that. It's really good. I really need to do that, especially because it popped up in your cup. Yeah, wow. It's a big confirmation. Here you have the Eiffel Tower, actually, right here. So it's just going to show you, you know, he's going to make that big step and he's going to do it. And I know it kind of sounds difficult because all this time it was mainly you, because you have a soft heart for him. And so you wanted to organize everything. You wanted to see him, which is very normal, you know. A woman is nurturing, and a woman wants to prep everything and, you know, see him, all that kind of thing. And so, by the way, I'm going to use some tarot cards as well, just to get a bit more information, even though I've got a lot. This cup is really interesting. Yeah, just because you've organized everything before doesn't mean that, you know, that's going to keep going. I do see a lot of compromise. That's what I'm trying to say. All right, let's get a tarot card. 2. Nine of Pentacles, and Five of Wands in reverse. So here they just talk about, you know, with the King of Pentacles, someone who is financially stable doesn't feel financially stable. And by that, I mean he physically cannot feel it, because yes, I know I always say, you know, your masculinity kind of scared him and all that kind of thing. But in a way, like, come on, your femininity has also intervened, and it obviously made him feel like, you know, a man, he's ready for a family, all that kind of thing. That's why he felt so close with the kids as well. So I do see him adjusting and changing a lot in his life, and a lot in kind of the way he perceives things and looks at life and all that kind of thing. And you're going to feel a different, you know, a difference. You're going to feel him opening up. And it's going to be kind of bold for you, or scary, because, sorry, it's bold for him to do so, because, you know, I do see a bit of ego kind of coming down. But, you know, with the battles, he is fighting a lot of battles on the inside, for sure. There's a lot of battles on the inside. There's a lot of drama with himself. There's a lot of mental issues. And I don't mean that in like a, you know, he needs like medication or something. I just mean that in, you know, we've all got our anxiety and our headaches and our stress. But with him, because he doesn't have that support system, because he doesn't have that nurturing vibe in his childhood as much as, you know, typical people, I guess, he doesn't know how to handle stress and all that kind of thing. And so leading up to this, because it's a confirmation, I definitely think it will happen, but leading up to it, it will cause him a lot of pressure. So for him to reach out and invite you and all that kind of thing, I do see it being last minute. Maybe on Thursday, hey, are you free this weekend? Something like that. It won't be like, hey, are you like free on like the 18th of February? Do you want to like catch up? I'm so busy, but I can make a time for you. No. I don't see it being like that. I see it being like, you know, hey, I really want to chat with you about some things that have been on my mind, and I really need to get them off my chest. Do you have some time this weekend? I know you have a busy schedule. Something like that. Wow, okay. So here we have the Hawk Prince. Spirit communication, paying attention. Oh, for sure. Sorry. I do really want you to pay attention to spirits. And by that, I don't mean anything scary at all. But I do want you to kind of focus in on, spiritual connections. You know, if you see, what are they called? Those blackbirds. I forgot what they're called, but I think you would know what I'm talking about. They're nothing bad at all. Every time I used to do a spell for you, actually next time I do a spell or something, I'll kind of show you as an example for my other client, because she's kind of like you. Anyway, you both, every time I do you guys, I get bats. I literally saw a bat right on top of my apartment, just laying there in the middle of the night. And I don't even, like, I live close to the city. So I really want you to pay attention to spiritual communication, because I do see, you know, this connection is working. This connection is being fulfilled in a way, but it's just taking time to heal for him, even though, you know, of course, it is taking a bit of time. It's healing. There is progression. The High Lady of Love and Compassion, kindness, consideration. Yeah. With number 1, you know, starting fresh. I don't get number 0 where you have to start from the bottom. No. Number 1, fresh. And when you flip 1, literally, mirror. He is going to look at you like a mirror. He is going to look at you as someone who reflects him, who understands him, who connects with him. And so he is going to feel like he missed out on a lot. He is going to feel that way, for sure. And, you know, it's going to take him some time for him to completely go, you know, I made a mistake. I do see he's realized some consequences, and he's kind of felt the consequence, because, you know, mental pain is also physical pain. But he hasn't completely realized. And so talking to you, probably meeting up or whatever, he is going to realize, you know, because obviously face-to-face is different to over the phone. Dragon's Duel. Inner conflict. Yes. Morality. Conscious choice. Exactly. I do see him fighting demons, fighting himself on the inside, because he doesn't know what the hell he's doing. I genuinely believe that without his dad, or kind of a leader at home, he wouldn't be where he's at. Someone at home built him. Someone at home helped him. And what I'm trying to say is, you know, he needs guidance. He's a very lost man. What is he feeling? Don't mind my cat scratches. Very good. Okay. Wow, straight away we have here a door. It looks like a coffin, but I promise it's not scary. So here you've got a door. So what that generally means is that, you know, oh my goodness, you've got the key as well. Oh my goodness. So what that generally means is that you've literally got every single opportunity to open that door. If he was to come back, I would not, you know, tell you, oh my god, act this way, act that way. Like, I obviously tell you how to handle situation, just so, because I'm worried about your mental health. I don't want you to be so heartbroken, all that kind of thing. But I do trust you in the situation itself. I do think that if, you know, he was to meet up with you or whatever, and the fact that we're getting this in, what did he feel? Or what does he feel? It just goes to show that he wants to come, and he knows that he can come, because the door for him to come is wide open, and you have the key in your hands. You are more than capable of allowing him to come back with love. I think because you haven't booked in a while, I feel so drained. There's so much information, but it's all right. That's good. All right, let's just quickly look at this. It's a very, very, very bright cup, but I'll try to pick up on as much as I can. Okay, so we've got mountains straight off. We've got mountains. One big mountain. Oh, sorry. One big mountain right here. So, you know, with that in mind, he is feeling up and down. I do think when it first happened, which, you know, if you think about it, like you always tell me, it's honestly, I think it's been more than a month now. You know, for him to continuously think about the situation as though it's yesterday, as though it's still affecting his mood up and down, it just goes to show how fresh the feeling of losing you really is. And, you know, going back on consequence and all that kind of thing, it really highlights to him, you can't be doing this, you know. I usually don't get this with, you know, guys his age at all. I usually get, you know, they get over it within a week, they go find someone else. But with him, he actually cared about the connection. And if you were to tell someone else, they'll probably be like, you know, you guys met a dating app, you know, it's really hard to find serious love. But I completely disagree. I've heard really, really positive stories from my friends. And I don't know why the whole me bringing up dating app or whatever is it's really random, but I think because his friends are probably saying that to him, you know, oh, you know, you did nothing wrong, it's just, you know, these girls, like, you won't really find one that matches with you on a dating app. You've got to go out to the bar and, you know, find it in a natural way. When you look for something, you don't find it. That's kind of what they're saying. Which, I mean, towards the end, they're speaking facts, but at the beginning, they're not. And me kind of hearing what they're saying, what, you know, spirits are telling me, I'm hearing that, you know, I can kind of understand where he's coming from, because first they say bad advice, and then they say good advice. And then they say advice that are actually real and realistic, advice that he, you know, vibes with and sees that, you know, wait, they make sense, you know, I'm seeing this happening. So he is very, very on and off. He's very, very up and down because of his environment and because of what he's hearing. But about you specifically, it's as though whatever advice they say, he highlights you. He sees you in a different light. He still finds you special, and, you know, you've still got a specific place in his heart. And if we look at the cup this way, you've actually got the brain. So I do think, you know, as soon as the whole advice and talk about you starts with his friends and all that kind of thing, it really blows his mind all about you, the memories, what happened between you two. You know, it's really sad. It really is. And, you know, people are just up and down. People are just up and down. And, you know, it's really hard for you to understand, because you're kind of like me. We're real love type of people. So for us, it's like, why the hell would you blow all that away? One of my clients the other day, you know, I did a spell on this guy that, you know, he's a hairdresser. He ended up leaving the girl of like only 2 months, which was easy, but leaving her for, you know, my client. And he was like, I don't know why, but you've been all over my mind, blah, blah, blah. They were fine for 2 weeks, and then he just left. He was like, you know, you're too good for me, all that kind of thing. And, you know, I am working on bringing him back. He is calling her and all that kind of thing as a friend. Well, they're starting slow. But that's what I'm saying. Some people, and he does have a lot of stress and anxiety, all that kind of thing. But he doesn't vocalize them. But you can tell, like, you know, he's a tattooist, all that kind of thing as well. He's living multiple lives. Anyway. Some men, because they were broken down in their childhood, they find that they're ashamed of talking about, you know, their feelings, because they think that they're not important to others and all that kind of thing. And for you to really care about him, for you to really highlight him as a man, it speaks volumes to him. And I think because we're getting this in this cup, it just shows that this is a recent feeling. So he's probably just realized that, you know, hey, I'm stressed about work, all that kind of thing. Melissa would be listening to me. Melissa would be advising me. Melissa would be helping me. Not my friends, not my family. They'll tell me to grow up, be a man, life's life, you know, all that kind of thing, whatever they say. He's realizing that, you know, and with the whole 1 month of him not being around you, you know, it's true, when we don't have that one person, we start to really see their value. And that's kind of what's happening with him, is that he's starting to slowly figure your value of, wow, I could have had her. She's not easy. She's not someone I can just go up and down with. Once I tell her we're done. I can't just play games with her. That's what he's kind of realizing at the moment. And it took him a really long time for him to kind of realize. Yeah, I do think, you know, at the moment he is kind of playing a story in his mind. Before I used to get kind of daydream, but now I see kind of a story. So I do see him, you know, playing a story in his mind. You know, if I was to come back, how would that go? If I was to talk to her, how would that go? If I was to randomly call her and just hang up and say, and this is all stuff that he's actually thinking, I'm not just, you know, babbling. If I was to call her and then hang up and then send her, oh, sorry, I was just drunk or something, what would she do? It's all these kind of things going through his mind. He's also, this is really random, but he's actually not even feeling sexual with anyone. I think he probably went out for lunch or something with his mates or his family, someone that's like a brother to him. And I do think, you know, he saw a beautiful girl, but he didn't feel attracted to her. He didn't feel like there's this fire. He didn't feel any of that, you know. And I don't even think like he has watched porn anything or recently. Like, he hasn't been sexually active at all, because when he is, he thinks of you, and that he doesn't feel embarrassed, but he feels ashamed. Like, I could be doing this with her if I was respecting her, if I was being mature with her. You know, it's little things like that. I know it sounds kind of weird, but it's little things like that he's kind of playing in his mind. And I'm literally telling you the absolute truth. Yeah, his mind is going in circles. He doesn't know if, and if you look closely, they're all like little hearts. It's like, you know, when he starts to wander and go off in his mind and kind of tell himself a story, he asks himself, is it realistic? Am I just, you know, playing something in my head? Will that ever possibly happen? Is this a sign? Is this a sign for her to keep popping up in my mind? Why? And this is what I keep getting as well. Why, out of all the women I've been seeing, she's the only one that kind of stood out to me. I don't even think his first love is a first love, honestly. I think this man has never experienced love. In his childhood, up and down, up and down. I don't think he's felt any of that. Let's see some tarot cards. What is Victor feeling? Victor, what are you feeling towards Melissa recently? As recent as this week to today. Okay, I'll explain every card, don't worry. So basically with the Three of Cups, straight off the bat, he thinks you found someone else. And, you know, I used to tell you that before. I think I told you this. I'll tell you this again. If he wants to come back, he'll be worried or intimidated that you have someone else and you'll say no to him and his ego, blah, blah, blah. But now at this point, he doesn't even care. He just wants to throw his love out to you. He just wants to reach out. He just wants to talk to you. And it's as though he's looking at you from a tower, from afar. He's looking at the situation. He's looking at, you know, has this situation helped you? Helped him? Was it because of the divine? What was it for? He's trying to basically find reasoning behind everything. He doesn't want to accept that it was because of him. Yeah, and he is, back to what I'm saying, like, you know, with the Three of Cups, he is very, very worried that you have found someone because he's not worth waiting on. Someone to have treated you so up and down with. And I can really, really understand where he's coming from, because I've been in a similar situation, and the guy, when he came back to me, he just went, I honestly don't know why you would ever wait for someone like me. That's what I'm getting. He's probably thinking to himself, I blew my chances. If I was to come back, I would literally have to be like a dog for her, like a little cat. Like, you know, I would have to listen to her every move to prove to her that I'm back for the right intentions. I would probably have to change and compromise. Am I ready for that? Is my ego ready for that? That's what he's thinking about. He's thinking also about, like, you know, more in general, day to day, what are you doing? And he remembers, you know, what you would tell him. Like, for example, oh, on this day I'll go with the kids. On this day I would cook. Or on this day I would, every Sunday, for example, I'll do the laundry or something like that. He the things you said to him, I repeated in his mind, and he's kind of put a routine in his head of what you might be doing, just to give himself a bit of closure on what you would be doing, instead of him asking you and calling you and checking up on you. Just to kind of basically shut himself up. Yeah, with the Queen of Wands, he's definitely looking at you straight up. You may be stalking him some days, you know, slowly, you know, try not to show it. But he's, boom, eyes right on you. Right on you. He is stalking you. He is watching you. He's trying to see if you've met someone else. And the fact that, you know, he can't find anyone that you've kind of met, he doesn't believe that. He thinks you have, but maybe he's not stalking right or something. Victor, your current feelings for Melissa. Your current most recent feelings for Melissa. Keep getting threes and twos. Threes is very good because it's Father, Son, Holy Spirit. Yeah. And twos is for soulmate, so very good all around. You have here abundance, reaping what you sow. So I definitely think, you know, what you're seeing and all that kind of note that you were saying earlier, or something that you kind of saw a vivid vision of, and all that, you know, I do see all that is kind of a spiritual connection, and just, again, proof to you that there is something between you and him, without a doubt. There is something, you know, pulling him towards you, all that kind of thing. He's just trying to understand the connection. He's trying to, I think for him, you know, my friend, he studies psychology and all that kind of thing. He told me the other day, we've got here in the stages of grief denial, I think he said, and then disappointment, and then anger, and then I think, I don't know, revenge or something. There's a process. Anyway, he's skipped acceptance straight to denial. He's literally denying what he's doing. He's denying what's happened. He's denying maybe how you're feeling. Pretending like, you're disappointed, all that kind of thing. He's denying. He's like, no. I'm sure hopefully she'll be okay with me, blah, blah, blah. He's denying it. Anyway. He's denying it. He's not seeing things from how clear they are. Which I mean is good. It kind of tells him that, you're always welcome to come back. But at the same time, he needs to understand that I do think this is a very clear sign for you that he's not over it. Because he would be in acceptance mode, and he would be over with someone else, honestly. The Arrow Master, hitting the mark, intention, detachment. Yeah, so I constantly get that as well. I keep hearing that. He thinks that you have a detachment from him, you've moved on, you found someone else, you've given up on him, given up on the connection. Just all these kind of denial feelings. The Queen of Light, celebration, enlightenment, elimination. Yeah, so I definitely think, he is going to bring a celebrative mode towards this connection. Going out, coming back together, reuniting, something that brings light. Alright, lovely. I hope you enjoyed your reading. It was a lot of information, which I'm happy about. I never leave my clients with a little bit of information, but anyway, I really hope you enjoyed. Keep me posted. I do see him coming back, and I know I keep saying that, but I genuinely do see him coming back. I'm just waiting on him. So honestly, I don't want you to look for him or wait on him. Do what you're doing. Pretend like he's already here, but he's on he's in America or something. Pretend like he's already here, because when you look for something, you'll never find it. And that's we're in Mercury retrograde, and time is going by really, really slow. The only way we can kind of fasten up time is if we distract ourselves, start a new TV show, do what you want to do. But I do see him coming back. All right. Bye, lovely.